Hey, what's up guys, Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another episode of Inside DB Rated. This is the dual commentary series where we go ahead and spectate random matches on DB's ladder and just check out what people are playing. So this is going to be a match between Pure 555 on ABC, you already know, versus Savi the Unbreakable on Bird Up or Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. So it looks like the players actually know each other, which is always cool to see. But going to be having ABC win the RPS, and they're going to opt to start. So the opening hand for ABC is going to be Ash, Nibiru, and then ABC. So one of each piece, but no hanger or unauthorized to pair with it. So this is going to either be a set C or a set B pass. Two hand traps though, which isn't too bad. And then the opening hand for Bird Up is going to be Nerval, Ash, Kit, Tenki, and DD Crow. So also two hand traps, but a lot more workable engine cards here for sure. Kit, if you guys don't know, is the one that came out of Blazing Vortex, and this one lets you send a Tri-Brigade card from deck to the grave when it is sent to the graveyard. So that's pretty cool because it's not limited to monsters. So that's pretty nice. But gonna go to main phase 1 and then set C pass. Pretty much what you would expect with this hand. For turn, the top deck for Bird Up is gonna be Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds. So not ideal, but there's already a pretty workable hand for sure. So can't really complain too much. Going to activate Tenki, that's gonna grab a copy of Fractal. And then going to activate Fractal, that's gonna dump a copy of Nerval. And then Nerval is going to trigger here, so that's going to grab a copy of Chaos. So Pure holding Ash, I wonder when he's going to drop it. Going to pitch the other Nerval for a copy of Chaos. And then going to use the effect on field, that's going to banish 2. And then summon out the Baron Blossom. So on the comments of the last Bird Up video, people were telling me that this is pronounced Farigit rather than Farigit. But I'm just going to say Baron Blossom because, honestly, it's probably just easier to say. Going to activate the effect. That's going to summon a Kit from hand. And then going to be thinking here, going to link summon for a copy of Rugal. That's going to trigger the effect of the Baron Blossom in graveyard to draw Tenki and then put it right back. Fair enough. Going to go for Kit now. That's going to banish 3 for a copy of Simorg, the Link monster. And then going to link summon for a copy of the Shrike. So Shrike and Kit both get to trigger here. Shrike is chilling 2. So that's going to banish C, and then Kit as chilling 1 going to dump a Rendezvous. So this one says target any number of linked Beast, Beast Warrior, and or winged Beast monsters you control. They gain 700 attack until the end of the turn, and then if a linked Beast, Beast Warrior, or winged Beast monsters you control will be destroyed with battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your grave instead. And you can only use each effect as a hard once per turn. So this is like another way to protect your Barrier Statue without relying on the Ancient Warrior Link or Link Hcabe specifically, and it's dumpable via your engine. So it's like very accessible. I mean, granted the other cards were also accessible, but this is like another way to like maybe play 3 hand traps, which is cool. So I do like that quite a bit. I don't know if it's mainstream yet, but we'll see as the format progresses. I've seen this card already a bunch of times, so pretty cool. Gonna go for a normal summon of Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds, which actually came in clutch here because that turns off the Nibiru. So yeah, Pure missing the window there to drop it. And then gonna go to battle phase and attack for 64, so that should bring Pure down to 16 if I'm not mistaken. Yep, and then going to go to end phase, that's going to allow some more to activate, but that's gonna be responded to via Ash. So held for the Ash, held Ash for the Simorg, which I think in most cases is like pretty good, but here it's going to be tough to break the Barrier Statue with a Rendezvous Engrave, plus 2 hand traps. Gonna need a pretty killer top deck, and Gold Gadget is not it, unfortunately. So we might just be moving to Swift game 2. Yeah, so ABC going to concede there. Bird Up taking game number 1. Yeah, ABC kind of just bricked, so not really a whole ton to dissect there. So moving to game 2, ABC can opt to start again. If you guys are enjoying this commentary, definitely be sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more commentary similar to this style. But the opening hand for ABC this time around is going to be Nibiru, Silent Universe, Ace, or C, A, and then unauthorized. I was going to say A and then C, because like in my mind, obviously, alphabetically, it makes more sense, but I digress. Silent Universe still in here because of set rotation, which we know Pure is on. Because Hanger is obviously very, very strong. But this hand's good enough because Unauthorized unlocks the hand quite well. And then the opening hand for Bird Up is going to be Double Cycle Reader, Gamma, Nerval, and Lancia. So 4 hand traps. This might be a rough one. Although, to be fair, there's not a lot of engine cards. So this is going to be a weird game. Gonna normal summon C, then activate Unauthorized Reactivation. That's going to equip a Union Driver from deck. And then Union Driver going to banish up. Actually, Savi is thinking they're going to drop Lancia. Yeah, definitely have to do it for sure. Yeah, that is pretty good. Just going to pass. Oh, the top deck is going to be, haven't done this for a while, a psychic soldier that rides in a battle against the security forces on currents of lightning using an autonomic amplifier called Psyframe. This is like my favorite part about commentating. It's just reading driver's text, but yeah, not going to help the cause. So Savi has a couple of lines here. Either you can go for Nerval into Link Revo to grab a search, or you can like leave your board clear for Gamma. We'll see what the choice ends up being. And the answer is a pass. So just going to rely on 3 hand traps. For turn, Pure is going to draw another copy of A, which is fine. Not great, but it's an engine piece. Going to banish Driver for B, and then going to use B to unequip itself. And then those two are going to turn into a copy of Union Carrier, triggering both pieces. Oh, just kidding, it was a misclick. Going to go for Platinum Gadget instead. So going to go Chilling 1B, Chilling 2C, summon A out of hand, and then B going to grab another copy of B. And then going to Cycle Reader here. It's so unfortunate this card is just so incidentally good against this matchup, even though it's obviously for Drytron. So B and C are going to be banished. And then Platinum Gadget effect, that's going to summon nothing because that's actually going to be Gammaed. Pure hasn't normal summoned yet, so this actually is fine for Pure. So Gamma is going to hit the board, negate and destroy Platinum Gadget, summoning the driver out of hand. Always the ideal scenario. Gadget, I believe, also gets to float, or Platinum Gadget rather, floats into another one. Yeah, and unlike the Gold and Silver gadgets, you can actually use both effects in the same turn, whereas those ones are restricted to either the on-summon effect or the floating effect. So this one's pretty good. But, oh, actually doesn't activate it, and normal summons B instead. So this tells us that the gadgets are definitely sided out for sure, because we saw Gold Gadget game 1, so that's a pretty reasonable conclusion, I feel. But Union Carrier is going to hit the board now, and then A and B both trigger, so that's going to grab B, and then B going to search for a copy of C. So pretty clearly going for a Galaxy Soldier play, which is pretty good. Carrier effect, that's going to equip Orbital to itself, and then Photon Orbital effect is going to grab a copy of Galaxy Soldier. Soldier going to pitch C, summon itself, and then search for another copy. And then this soldier is going to pitch B, which is missing. So that's going to hit the board as well. And then going to discard Nerval. I think that was a misclick. Probably meant to go Cycle Reader here. Pure's like question mark in the chat. But yeah, that was... Yeah, it's pretty obviously supposed to be Cycle Reader. Yeah, so B and C going to be banished again. So going to go for Nova. And then Infinity. Savi says, I mean, evidently won't matter. I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough to win from this position. We'll see, though. Infinity going to equip the driver, or attach it, rather, as Xyz material, and then going to go to Battle Phase. Carrier going to clear the Gamma, and then Infinity going to attack for 29 directly, and then going to pass. For turn, the top deck is going to be Turquoise Warbler. That's actually not a bad one. So definitely can go for a Zeus play, for sure, which doesn't really interact with the Infinity whatsoever. So that's actually a pretty good top deck, all things considered. So going to be thinking here, special summon the Turquoise Warbler, and then normal summon the Nerval, and then going to overlay for the Assembled Nightingale. Battle Phase is going to attack for 400 twice, so we're going to take 800 damage. And then in main phase 2, going to overlay for Zeus. So interesting that there's no downer. Either there's no downer in the extra deck, or they're trying to play around Nibiru. But even if there is Nibiru, I think you'd be fine with that, because they'd be clearing their own Infinity. And then like with downer, you'd have a way to like clear the board, even if Infinity negates it, and then you have like what's it called, Nerval to follow up, kind of. Like it's hard for this deck to make plays with just Nerval, since the normal summon's already expended and there's nothing to pitch for like a Kairos if that was a search. But I mean, it'd still be something. Plus, like Savi's done a pretty good job of fending off Buster this entire game with the Cycle Readers, right? So I think the only reason is that there's no what's it called? There's no downer in the extra deck, which would make sense, but that's going to be unfortunate here. So yeah, Infinity's just going to negate the Zeus, and that's going to be game number 3. So pretty good back and forth there, actually. Just a lot of hand traps, honestly, which, you know, that is kind of the nature of things, and you don't draw your engine cards. But moving to game 3, it looks like Bird Up is going to go first, And just want to quickly shout out my patrons before we get started as usual. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and the long form consistent content is made possible thanks to you guys. So if you guys want to check out the Patreon, definitely go ahead and do so in the description box below. But we're going to go ahead and move on to game 3, where the opening hand for Bird Up is going to be Cycle Reader, Ash, Kit, Hcabe, and Droll. This is not very good. I don't think Kit by itself does anything. Even if you play like Almirage, well, if you play Almirage, you could like send something, like maybe your Nerval. Like maybe you can go Chaos if you have like another card to pitch for it. That's like an interesting one. I wonder how this is gonna play out, at least turn 1. 3 hand traps though. And then Pure's hand is Desires, Lancia, Nibiru, Ash, Galaxy Soldiers. So this hand's also not that good. Has 3 hand traps as well. Both players just opening up a ton of hand traps every single game. Which is pretty good to see, honestly, given how like many combo decks there are. But yeah, no ABC pieces whatsoever. This is going to be a weird game. Gonna pass, and then draws another copy of Ash for turn. So gonna activate Paw of Desires. That's gonna banish 10. Will that get ashed? The answer is no, so going for Droll instead. So gonna draw B and Skullmeister. There are 5 hand traps in this hand, by the way. Gonna drop Droll and Resolution. And then gonna normal summon B, and then get in for 1500. You gotta do what you gotta do. Gonna pass from there. Draws Rendezvous. That is really, really bad to draw, because its on-field effect is like, it's just Rush Recklessly. So gonna normal summon Hcabe. So I actually can bring back Droll, which is pretty funny. So that's gonna summon it back. And then gonna overlay for a copy of a Summon Nightingale. So just gonna go for Zeus, I guess, which is fair enough. Going to attack for 800 damage. Yeah, I think Salvi is probably just expecting that there is no way that the Recital Sterling is going to ever resolve into a hand of like 6 cards, which is, you know, pretty true. Or like rather just his entire combo line in general. Yeah, so going for Zeus again. All right, so for sure, I'm pretty sure it's just no downard. Gonna pass from there. Draws another copy of B. Okay, that is very, very good actually. So you're gonna get multiple searches here. Gonna normal summon B and then link away for a copy of Union Carrier. Gonna trigger both Bs, and that's gonna resolve, grabbing a C as well as a copy of A. There are so many cards in this hand, jeez. Gonna activate Union Carrier, gonna target itself, gonna chain Zeus. That's good because Galaxy Soldier is already in hand, so getting 410 Orbital wasn't really gonna do anything. Also, I didn't check what was banished. Let's see. Lightning Storm, Meister, Lancia, another Galaxy Soldier, Desires, CA, Nibiru, Lightning Storm, Lancia. Okay. So, banish the other 2 Lancias, and still has a Galaxy Soldier left in deck, because we know Pure plays 3. So, pitch C for Galaxy Soldier, use the effect that's going to search for another copy. So, going to pitch for a... Interesting that they chose not to ash this. Maybe they wanted more like value off of the Cycle Reader, which is like fair, but at the same time, contending with Infinity is tough. But also Infinity can't clear Zeus by itself. So that's also pretty interesting. I'm going to go Cycle Reader to banish A and C. This is a very close game, actually. Going to send those away for a copy of Hipposhinigan. Interesting. So, actually, that's pretty decent because Pure doesn't really have an engine right now. And Infinity is going to get cleared no matter what by the Zeus. Just going to battle phase. So, I guess getting back a copy of B is pretty decent here. So, it's going to pass on this. For turn, the top deck's going to be a copy of Tenki, which is good, but again, there's 5 hand traps in this hand. 4 of them are alive. Gonna normal summon a Kit, and then Kit effect is gonna banish 2 from graveyard. Thinking on summon actually, gonna activate Lancia. So that's gonna put a halt to those plays. Battle phase actually going to attack into the Hipposhinigan, and then Kit will be able to send a card to the graveyard. So that's going to send Nerval. And Zeus also triggers here. So that's going to equip the Nerval. I didn't like read the chat there, but yeah. Very nice to have second Zeus send. Nerval gets to trigger here, so that's going to add a copy of Chaos. Obviously, it's damage steps, so you can't ash any of that. And then main phase 2, going to go for Tenki. That's going to grab a Search for Fractal. And then going to pass. So not committing Chaos to the board. Just going to sit on Zeus here. Draws another copy of Nibiru. Sheesh. That is not good. Yeah, it's going to pass. For turn, the top deck is going to be Turquoise Warbler, which is not going to be live to special summon right now. But it's another body. Gonna normal summon Chaos, actually. Chooses not to special hit. Very interesting. I'm going to banish 4. That's going to summon out Shrike. Shrike effect. That's going to banish. And that is going to be the end of the match, actually, because this is game. Exactly 7,200. Wow. So, not playing into any of these 4 hand traps, or 5 hand traps, technically, but even though 3 of them are live only. Wow. That was a very weird game. Well, I said it was going to be weird from the start, right? Yeah, fascinating. I mean, both players honestly just drew like a boatload of hand traps. What can you say? And Psycho Leader is killer against ABC. Man, this card was cited even back when ABC was meta, like almost 5 years ago at this point. So, yeah, I didn't actually play in that format, but that's the legends that I've been told. But yeah, really, really fascinating. Definitely a good matchup for sure. I like this one a lot. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me with the links in the description below as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.